Hi, I am Paul Corman-Roberts, and I am performing today for the Baker's Dozen edition of the Fire Thieves. Thank you. Diego the Lion. The vast majority of creatures that have ever lived upon our earth have done so in the oceans, or the tops of mighty forests that once covered the land. You see, there have been so very many falls from grace, a template set long ago. All this around us ceased to be Eden when we received that initial invitation. Is there any beauty more terrible and awesome to behold than democracy? The democracy of jellyfish and algae, of cephalopods and water bears, the democracy of microbes and viruses, of fungus and cetaceans? Nowhere is democracy more obvious than the oceans and trees. Nothing appends the status quo faster, which is why the 1% of the 1% can never allow for real democracy. Oh, and there is so much rage over this, justified rage, ignorant-ass rage, and oh yes, yes, how the schools lied to us, how the politicians and businessmen lied to us. And yes, perhaps civilization is an oversized delusion to keep us docile, to keep us frequently soft and plump, and yet barely alive, and yet, so what? You will still need to get over it. Even in a dying empire, we will all still need to fall in love. We will all still need to be held, need to be cuddled, even in the squalor of our own dust. You will still be a mammal on this earth, baby. This poem is dedicated to Lawrence Ferlinghetti. This is called A Bookstore in California, with apologies to Allen Ginsberg. Oh, what thoughts I have of you this morning, Lawrence Ferlinghetti, as I duck onto secret urban paths, following a mauve brick road toward the sushi trough. Delirious from my thirst, trap of the senses, I wander into the upscale cornucopia of plenty, not imagining for any of it that I would see you, standing tall, imposing by the olive bar, that wry smile as you gazed upon my gaze. And I thought I should say something to you, Lawrence Ferlinghetti, but what does a neophyte say to a man of letters who has no doubt literally heard and seen it all? And yet, somehow you still manage to say it all with a smile and a twinkle in your eye that says, I know, I understand. It's nice to meet you, traveler. This day will go on endlessly. Where do we go now, Lawrence Ferlinghetti? In my delirium, I stumble into a red neon bookstore of resistance, of sanctuary, of dissent. Such broadsides and tracts, whole communities by night, aisles full of citizens, seekers, tweakers, and tourists. Which direction does your beard slouch toward now, father of the extended family of all extended families? We wander in and out of the brilliant stacks of our imaginations, our sense of the possible following you as we are followed by all of your staffers. That was a joke. And now this is the title poem from my forthcoming collection, Bone Moon Palace. It starts walking the dog. In a burned PVC morning, flooding the nostrils, an odor you have yet to connect to the thumping of the metallic mosquitoes hovering several blocks away. Next comes the vine chatter. Why does everything smell like smoke? Wispy tendrils of bad news. Warehouse fire last night. Coalescing tsunami breaks over 3 eyes. This is the place. This is where it happened. This is their website. Their website. An enveloping wall of poison accumulata. Alameda Coroners reports preparations for large casualty event. Helicopters for days. There is no further information. There is no further information. There is no further information. Set your watch to fingers pointing. Fingers running over a list. Fingers running over names. Names you know, and you know better than to read the comments. You know better than to agree with the comments. And even when you do, there is no further. There is no further. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Contacts. Frantically push buttons. Please text me back. Please just text me. Please just text. Send. Wait, wait, wait. There is no. There is no. You want so badly to check out. You want so badly to disconnect. You know you cannot. Wait, wait, wait. And it is that third eye that is always the first to give water for the dead. You don't realize till the reservoir opens. The rest of the mirrors cannot hold the deluge. Wait, swipe, text. Wait, swipe, text. Wait, swipe, text, send, send, send. There are, arms floating above a gangplank, arms in space. Come on down, one and all. Come down to 31st Avenue, y'all, for the full Bone Moon Open Mic Family Jam. The Fam Jam, you know what we am, a new kind of audience participation where we can be anything or anyone we want to be. So give water. Give water for this house of yes. Water for a demon dog turned loose on the streets of Oakland. Water for lovers lost and found. Water for screams in the wild night. Water for the sound of buckling beams. Give water for messages sent in faith. Water for a bone moon gone broke, and then give silence. The silence of dozens in a fast food parking lot becomes hallowed ground. Give blankets for the unhomed. Give food for the unfed. Give me your arms one last time. Give me your love one last time, and I'll give you mine to protect us from the coming storm as our vessel drifts off into the ocean of night, as we finally transform this broke bone moon palace, this ephemeral hoarding, into a flotilla of yes. With full audience participation, we will be anything we want to be. Text, send, text. The sun has set like it did last night, but tonight, December 3rd, 2016, is nothing like last night on the 2-6. Last night there was hope. We just hadn't realized it yet. There, the there, and text received, finally. And it says, Mama, we are going to die. Mama, we love you. This poem is called Museum, and this is from my upcoming collection of poems, Bone Moon Palace. The fall of the universal tongue was a setup, a frame job, and the gatekeepers have always known this, and not snitched once. It wouldn't be sycophantic were it an equal relationship. There is a ghost forest where all the trees died simultaneously, and for a short epoch, the ocean possessed a forest of its own. The ocean, of course, was sad. The specimen could not survive in a hostile environment, but at the very least, the ocean was pleased to have curated its own tourist trap, a museum of land and air for the enjoyment of her denizens, the fishes, the cephalopods. But that was a long time ago. The Specimen Museum has since been returned to its rightful kingdom, a reminder of life on the subduction zone, where the wheels of extinction move a little faster. And I will conclude my set with this piece, Why Didn't You Tell Me? Each moment is stolen. We never get them back when we love our kids so unconditionally. We want to spend every last minute with them, even if all they want is to be on the internet all damn day. Oh, sure, we watch a movie and talk about books, play miniature golf, or whatever it is that families do. But how many times does each day end with one or both of us sitting in front of that damn screen? And make no mistake, these are Orwell's telescreens, because even when they're not watching us, they are still watching us. Privacy has ceased to exist, and that's a terrible thing for a free speecher like me to admit, because I have always taken the stance, live and let live. But in my parental instincts, I discover my own living hypocrisy, another of the infinite number of impossible contradictions that exist inside of me. I'm lucky, though. I'm blessed with a daughter who doesn't care about social media or fancy phones, who cares not one bit for Kardashians or Fortnite, but is drawn to fan fiction sites, where all her favorite characters cross out of their canons and into each other's worlds. I should feel lucky she is fascinated by the idea of entire universes colliding with each other, because in her version of the internet, it always ends happily ever after. I try to tell her it's not that neat in real life, but I don't push. I mourn for the day she discovers a world where the powerless grow more powerless by the day, a world where justice must be purchased at an even more impossible price, a world where she will be granted the privilege of default for her skin color and just as quickly be stripped of it for her gender, a society where it is easier to get a gun than it is to get a job. I don't push because we only have the now to enjoy it before it's all ruined. I don't push now because I will need the energy and stability later when her despair puts me in its crosshairs and asks, "Why didn't you tell me?" Because for that, I will need to be stronger. Thank you. I am Paul Corman-Roberts.